Last year was kind of interesting because it was one of the rare years compared to previous versions of the tournament where the first group of IDPs came off. There was a fairly even split between defensive end and linebacker. In past years, you had a lot of, because the scoring is so tackle heavy, you had a lot of linebackers get drafted early, which would make sense. They score the most points. So when I do the trend lines for those two positions, linebackers blue, defensive end is green. Something that we've seen the last 2 years is you sort of get like your narrowest gap in the two positions right when the first few defensive ends come off. And then as it tails off towards the end of the draft, you still get quite a few linebackers who score really well, and defensive end drops off a little bit. Safety, on the other hand, and we always talk about defensive backs being something that we like to fade in drafts. Safety, this trend line is like more or less flat. And when we see something that's more or less flat, like what that's kind of telling us is the players that we're getting at the end of drafts are more or less just as good as the players that we're getting at the beginning of drafts. So going back to why we always tell people to fade DBs,